Sura and Waruna sold their liquid-filled reed pipes to the villagers. When the king found out they had arrived, he sent for them and they offered him a drink. At first, the king was reluctant to drink this strange liquid. However, with some encouragement from Sura and Waruna, the king succumbed and tried the drink. After only a few sips, the king was drunk. He felt strangely happy and giddy, and seemed to forget all sense of shame. As time passed, he slowly felt his inhibitions disappear. With the supply of liquor Sura and Waruna gifted him, the king's intoxication only lasted him 1 or 2 days. He demanded,
"Do you have more of this amazing liquid? I must have more. Give me more."
It was at that point that Sura and Waruna knew that they had hooked the king. Sura and Waruna knew that they could not keep going back to the tree every time they wanted to stock up. So instead, they took note of all the factors that led to the creation of the liquor and replicated the drink in a private location in the city. The men and women of the city drank the liquor, and all became drunk and idle fools. The men stopped working and caring for their families. The women stopped caring for their children and looking after their homes. All everyone wanted to do was drink, drink, and drink. The men soon ran out of money. Families broke apart, and violence became normal. The wine merchants saw that the city no longer had any money, so they headed to the large city of Benares. In Benares, the same thing happened. The king sent for Sura and Waruna. He paid them money, and they made their wine there. And in the same way, the inhabitants of the city of Benares fell into ruin. The wine merchants then took their profits and fled Benares for the wealthy city of Saketa. There, the same thing happened. The wine merchants then fled to Sawati. When they reached Sawati, they met with King Sapamita. He gave them his favor and asked them what they needed to make their product. The king then gave them everything they asked for. The wine merchants asked for a large warehouse with many large jars, ground rice, and the rest of the ingredients for the wine. In addition, they tied many cats to the jars to guard them. However, when the liquid fermented and began to escape the jars, the cats drank the strong liquid that flowed down. The cats became drunk and then fell asleep. The cats were so drunk that they lost all of their senses and instincts. The cats didn't even react when the mice bit off their ears, noses, teeth, and tails. The king's officers saw this and assumed the cats must have died from drinking the liquid in the jars. The king's officer was sure that the liquid must be poison and quickly informed the king. The king said,
"Surely these men are dishonest and makers of poison. They must mean to kill us all and take over our kingdom. They must be dealt with quickly."
The king ordered the 2 men beheaded. Instead of begging for their lives, the 2 men yelled,
"Please, let us drink some wine. Please, don't take us away from our wine. We need to drink our wine."
They had become so addicted to the wine that they forgot to beg for their own lives. the king's officer, after seeing to the execution of the wine merchants, went to destroy the jars of poison. However, what he saw astonished him. The cats that had seemed dead all got up from their liquor-induced sleep and began to play and walk about. The officer realized that if it had truly been poison, the cats would not be able to wake up, and so he informed the king. When King Sapamita came to see the jars for himself, he decided that he would build a splendid pavilion with a white umbrella above it and spend his days drinking with his courtesans. At that moment, Saka, in the highest heavens, had a thought.
I wonder how the dutiful ones down in the human world are doing. Are they fulfilling the 3 kinds of right conduct? Are they practicing wholesome speech, wholesome actions, and wholesome livelihood?
As Saka looked down and saw King Sapamita getting ready to drink the strong drink, he thought,
if he drinks that strong drink, all of India will perish. I must intervene and make it so that he chooses not to drink it.
What did you learn from this story? Let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads. And consider making a donation to support our Buddhist animation project.